Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Lads Debate. I know, it has been a while, and also I am back. Joined with us is your only mate.
Who's next?
Okay, I'm not going to lie, that was kind of creepy. But we are past the Halloween month, so coming in with probably a less scary introduction is Sean here.
Bro, we did 2 server debates before an official episode. I'm not even kidding.
Link in the description down below for the Discord. So yes, people, let's discuss Death Battle. We're down to our last 2 episodes this year, which obviously we're going to announce the finale at the end of this, including where the finale is going to be. And my chair decided to get involved in the conversation. I do need to get a new chair.
That's your chair's way of saying if you said it wrong. It's Lads Debate. You said Lads Discuss Death Battle.
Yeah, sorry, Lads Debate. So yeah, I'm back from Benidorm, and we're back doing the Lads Debate. One that is highly requested. Funny enough, I think this is our community requested from. I think it was from 2023 during the live stream.
It was after Nora Reinhardt for certain.
Yeah, like we kind of just threw this out there as like, hey, do you guys want to see this? Because the connection was there were rivals on that one PlayStation Smash game that, you know, was undercooked and had potential, but then was thrown away. A Smash game that had potential and is thrown under the bus. Where have I heard that before? But
I mean, there's a whole bunch of them out there. Let's be real.
That's the joke. That is the joke. Seriously, guys, just commit. But before we actually talk about the episode, we might actually have our first controversial episode.
In a while?
I don't even think we've had that much of a controversial episode. Like, aside a few comments disagreeing us, like when we look at polls, even ones where we choose the winner and the poll goes against it, example, Adam versus Nemesis. Nemesis only won by, like, I think at the time 15%, which is still, you know, still the majority, just not as many as like before. Where then you had something like Dark's Chosen Undead versus Link, which at the time of the recording this, that poll is now 50-50. I'm not joking.
Still?
Yeah, it's still 50-50.
Jesus.
Do you know what? If they actually do announce a Dark Souls 4 and they somehow expand a Chosen Undead, I wouldn't be against doing this for a rematch. I mean, God, like, Nintendo's not letting go of Zelda anytime soon. But anyway, back to this though. Samurai versus the Knight. The Samurai lost, with 24% saying the Samurai would win, 76 voted the Knight.
What the f*** are they smoking?
Well, now, there is a comment here that might make me think like, yeah, this was a bad corner. Now, I want to make this clear before I read comments. We're not going to 100% be certain about our winners, because if there are comments that correct us, congrats. Unfortunately, the episode's been recorded, the winner's been decided. Good luck next year, Jimmy.
Yeah, I was also at a point where my head was just hurting.
So, first comment from Tarot. This is more of a joke comment. Damn, Billy and Sean just keep talking over each other. Chivalry really is dead, huh? Yeah, I think since Rex versus Soldier 76, this is the most like. I think it's because we had to dig through so many history books, so many stories.
At least 2,000 years worth.
Yeah.
Combined.
So, and the problem with this is, there's no visual, like, evidence of a lot of these feats. Because, hey, there was stories about knights cleaving a man in half despite wearing armor. There's been so many YouTube videos that have kind of debunked that. There's stories about samurais cutting bullets out the air. That's also been debunked because as people have tested guns on, like, samurai swords and they break easily, it's like, yeah, you know, these are just stories, but at the same time, we can't really deny them because they're the only physical evidence that we have. Sadly, there wasn't some, like, medieval guy with a GoPro, like, recording knights in war.
Are we good to go? What the hell is that? They call it a GoPro.
A pro that goes sounds interesting. So yeah, I think that's why we got so into the debate, because we're just like, no, I don't want to lose this. I had to read like 50 wiki pages. Bernie, stay out of this.
Bernie had to pull Bill away from research if you couldn't tell.
You should just message me about dinner, it's fine. Like a dinner that we're having on Thursday. Next comment from Yang the Insane. Definitely an interesting topic. over past episodes. Prefer the fictional side, in my opinion. Yes, me and Sean both agree with that. Please, can we never look into?
I also agree.
Can we not look into historical figures? It was this is one of those matchups where cool concept on paper. We regretted it as soon as we committed.
Dude, if we do any parody of the night, can it just be King Arthur from Monty Python?
Oh, absolutely, please.
If it was like a parody version of like a knight and a samurai, that would have been hilarious.
Agreed. As for the winner,
you know what? Let's debate Austin Powers versus Johnny English. Let's go.
Let's go. Anyway, back to the comment. As for the winner, I have lots of doubts. Samurai were well regarded as fast and swift killers, but knights are built to be last in fighters in combat, and plus their armor is not as easy to cut through compared to samurais. Next time, though, my poor boy Raiden. Well, we'll have to see who can convince me Yang on that last one. And I kind of want to throw this to Mate because he decided the winner on this. Because that is actually true, and I feel like that's something I did fail to debate. Whereas samurais only had one weapon that could cut through a knight's armor, including their chainmail, whereas knights had literally 90% of their arsenal could cut through a samurai armor because it wasn't really made from metal. It was made from bamboo, wood, some metal, but metal wasn't a rich material in Japan compared to Europe. So, what was your reason for the defense thing? 'Cause that was your key argument regarding the weapon.
Oh, I don't even remember.
Okay then.
It's been months.
That was how long ago, and I had a massive headache by the end of it.
Okay. Yang, I hope that's satisfying enough. Funny enough, though, this next comment is actually a reply to her. It's from Starshock. And this is regarding this as well. Feels kind of meta. Replying to a comment that's replying to another comment that's replying to a video. It's confusing. That's kind of where I am, actually. Assuming their level of skills comparable, it comes down to whether the knight's typically higher versatility can adapt to the samurai's unfamiliar style before the samurai slips in lethal blow. And yeah, for debate purposes, I find it easier to talk about fictional characters, partially in regards of skill and smart to question. I already had to make some assumptions for my own scenario, but looking at specific characters, fictional or otherwise, gives us a few more details to munch on. Yeah, I think that's something I definitely feel as though I could have made a better argument for, because samurais they did have a lot of head-on fights, but in comparison to knights, samurais weren't really warriors that were made to last. They were made to do swift kills and either retreat if the battle was getting too this is a war scenario. Whenever it was like a duel between two samurais, then it was a duel to the death regardless. But in a lot of war scenarios, samurais did have to retreat a lot if they did not match the versatility in arsenal, whereas knights, those bastards, despite their corruption, would go down fighting. That's probably the only nice thing I could say about a lot of English knights. So yeah, I feel as though I will share some partial blame. I probably didn't do the knights justice, but that again, do I really want to do them justice? It's like trying to represent Nazis. Like, oh no, I didn't represent the Nazis well enough. Oh, woe is me. It's not
all the humanity. Oh wait.
Yeah, so it's like I'm not that sad if I didn't do them justice. Though, yeah, I do agree that I should have, hit harder that knights were built to stand, where samurais were not. And then the final comment, which, hey, we actually have a comment that does defend the samurais. RKO is one of the 26%. This is another close call. I swear this is my new phrase for lads debate. Yeah, seriously, RKO, I could probably have a drink every time you've said that. However,
hey, good idea.
I'm slightly siding with samurai in the end. I just think there are ways that gives them more wins. However, the knight will not go down without a fight. Still a great debate, guys. Well done. Yeah, I think overall, though, it was a unique idea. It was fun. I don't want to do it again. If someone
fun
decides
to debate,
to be
not fun to research.
Again, similar to the thing we were joking about. If we would say hey, do you want to do a battle between certain knights? I don't know, Lego Knights versus the Bionicle Samurai. Does anyone remember Bionicles?
Vaguely.
I remember having a few when I was a kid.
Yeah, I had a few Samurai Ninja versions. I used to do. Obviously, I was a bit of a Dragon Ball Z fan. I did the little fusion thing where I'd be like, fusion, take apart them. I basically gave the brown one green arms and then put his head on top. Yeah, man. I wonder if I still have them in my old house. I might have to look into that. But yeah, thank you for your comments, people. Now, I will say, looking at these comments, the poll and stuff like that, I will say, yeah, this might be the one lads debate that we might have made a bad call on. I think, with everything going on, At the same time, though, it's not surprising that me and Sean were kind of like just throwing a lot to this, because there was a lot we had to go through. Hundreds of years of history, from when they used daggers to swords to guns. It was exhausting. Heck, I was surprised that knights wielded guns. I was like, I could have sworn guns.
How do you think I felt with the samurai having a gun?
Yeah, it's like, I thought guns were kind of like brought in by militias that were like getting rid of knights, but it turns out as soon as knights found out they could kill people from a distance, they're like, hell yeah!
Cue the Smash announcement. He wields a gun.
The Quote King of Skill, they were like, ooh.
Yeah, like, I'm just picturing that one person who's like, I will die with honor. And looks at the gun and like, maybe honor's overrated. And just falls over. I mean, knights, like, their honor was just that they would die by their sword, but they will throw dirt at you and all that. Seriously, knights play dirty. So, but like we've probably said for the millionth time, people, we're not Death Battle. We're not really a versus show that tries to determine winner. We're trying to represent our characters. Do we do them justice? If we get something wrong and it's not by deliberate spite, that's on us. But we're not going into this purposely trying to throw fights. I wasn't, even though the Knights are pieces of shit, I wasn't trying to throw them under the bus. I was like, I genuinely feel as though they can win. Seems as though I have the majority. Also, if I had a penny for every time I represented a character that lost, but won the poll, I'd have 2 pennies. I'm not doing the rest of the jokes. That joke's dead now. I'm just saying that's pretty funny.
That joke will never die.
Do you know what's funny? I never actually watched the cartoon. That joke.
Neither did I.
But then I
started.
You've
never seen Phineas and Ferb?
Yeah, nope. But then I started seeing clips about it, and like the Perry the Platypus. I'm like, what kind of plumber are you? A platypus plumber? Puts on hat. Perry the Platypus plumber? Takes off belt, dramatic music. Perry the Platypus. I'm like, this is just too
Dan
funny.
Povenmire knew what he was doing.
There's even another one where it's like, a teenage girl? Dun-dun. Perry the teenage girl. I'm like, what is this show? I need to watch it.
The only other clip I remember is when like it's 2 people on a bike and there's a girl on the back, and some arsehole like tries to flirt with her, and the guy just goes, "She's 16!" Pulls out a disintegrator.
Oh, yeah, that's because that's his daughter.
Honestly, I don't know about the actual main characters of the show, but I just want to watch it just for that Doctor guy, because in all the clips of all the clips I've seen of him, that kills me. But speaking of killing, though, and we were talking about representing characters, it is time for I think this is our first, like, requested lads debate, because, yes, I know we did Cinder versus the Meta a while back, or Meta versus Cinder, whichever way we put it.
That was a personal request. This one's a community request.
Yeah, because we just kind of threw this out there because I think it was because, Sean, you researched Cole for his Death Battle. And then you just threw the stupid idea like, hey, let's have Cole versus Raiden because they were rivals in that Smash game. We were like, hey, let's put
more sense than his other rival, Fat Princess.
Yeah, and then we're like, you know what, screw it, let's just put it on poll. And I can't remember, actually, you can't look at old polls on the stream, but I remember just looking at like 86%. I was like, well, damn, I guess we got to do this someday because people actually want it. And 2 years later, people, we're finally doing it. Kind of fitting. We put off lads debate on a break for a while, and the episode we come back to is a highly requested one, or a long-awaited one. So, representing Cole is, well, he's coming back defending Cole's honor, Sean.
It's time for me to go to have a second take at this, son. I worked in his title in there.
Nice. And let's be real here, there's no one else who could do like Raiden justice than the guy who had to represent his villain last time. You're only mate.
Heyo.
You also repped Raiden in an actual episode for lads.
Hey, that's actually true. It comes full circle. So, yeah, we'll continue the Metal Gear win streak, or will Sean gain another win for Cole? Are you guys ready? Well, I should probably say, Sean, are you ready to represent Cole first?
Yeah, I think I'm ready.
Alright then, I should probably get my phone up. I'm definitely prepared for this. I definitely didn't drop it on the floor for a second.
Nice going!
A reminder to people who are new to Lads Debate, or who've probably forgotten how these things work. People who are representing the characters get 10 minutes talking about their characters, their feats, blah blah blah. And then after the 10 minutes each, they're given a 15-minute debate and then an extra 2 minutes, well, 1 minute each, having the last say on their characters. Anyone else need a reminder?
I'm good.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought mate was about to come up with a joke on that. Wait, could you say that again? Like, I was actually...
No, I was mostly waiting for you to just ask me.
Okay, fair enough. So, Shawnee, your 10 minutes starts right now.
Empire City was once a bustling city of life and community. Until one day, Cole MacGrath was delivering a package as a local bike courier. And then it blew up in his face.
Oh, I'm just going to pause and do this joke. Worst DoorDash ever.
Seriously, who orders a bomb, you ask?
Also, a package blew up in his face. Oh my!
God damn it! We're only a few minutes into this debate and already had to play the erotic music.
Well, after some time, Cole woke up and realized he had electricity powers, but not just any kind of electricity powers. Specifically, he acted as a conduit. These types of folks are able to absorb powers from their environment and fire it back. In Cole's case, he got electricity. He really is Elemental Hero Sparkman.
He doesn't have the arse for it, though.
Depending on who you ask.
Now, during quarantine time, when the government, of course, was investigating the area, they learned the truth of sorts. It was a twisted version of it. People blamed Cole for it and created the first world example of cancel culture. Oh, screw you, that was funny.
No, it was.
Yeah, it was.
Well, despite the fact that he had people leaving, Cole had to learn that with great power comes great responsibility, of course.
Okay, that's a good backdrop, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's like a cover from the actual game itself. He eventually would learn how to control his powers to figure out, what really happened and who made that bomb that blew up in his face, or what was the bomb. With Zeke by his side for a while, they figured out it was a man by the name of Kessler. And this whole plan turned out to be orchestrated after an investigation done by them. They later learned that this was the Ray Sphere. Kessler's plan, was to jumpstart Cole's career into being a superhero to try to prevent the apocalypse. Because, big surprise, Kessler was actually Cole from the future.
What's a twist?
A twist nobody expected, not even years ago when we brought up Cole in the first place.
I still need to play those games. PlayStation, bring it to PlayStation 5.
Anyway, with Cole being a conduit of electricity, he had to learn how to use his powers in order to defeat Kessler and so many other villains in the past. With his electric powers, he can shoot lightning, fire grenades, create gigawatt blades, drain from the environment. Bio-Leech lets him drain from people. He can drop like a hard thunderstorm, thrust like Electric Iron Man, and overload himself with karmatic powers like Shadow the Hedgehog. It was after a grueling battle against Kessler, when Kessler was finally defeated, they prepared him for the Beast, an apocalyptic world-ending demon of sorts. Well, it's never described if he's an actual demon or what. He's just Apocalypse incarnate. No, not the Marvel version.
Sounds like Mr. Beast.
This is also where Cole figured out that conduits can absorb other powers. Cole learned 2 different kinds of powers in the time of Infamous 2. We're focusing on good Cole, by the way. We did not mention that in the start, but we're focusing on good Cole. And good Cole gains access to cryokinesis, allowing him to do ice powers, like freezing people, creating a frost shield, an ice rocket, and he can just launch himself with ice. Why? Because why not?
He's an electric ice type after all.
I think they're called, is it Arctic Zone? I think is the name of that Pokemon, right?
I mean, there's also the freezer Rotom.
Cole's a giant walking freezer made. Well put.
I'm looking forward to editing that image.
He's an electrical freezer. Like,
Well, this electric freezer.
Frost Rotom is perfect for him.
Well, he also has his ionic powers, like the ionic freeze, where everything just freezes completely solid. His ionic storm, creating a city-wide spanning thunderstorm. An ionic vortex, creating a giant tornado of electricity. Oh, we need all these powers and more if he was going to take down the Beast once and for all, because the Beast had the same exact powers of the Ray Sphere. And well, as stated, Cole was blown up at the molecular level, and he survived. And this Beast was capable of the same. Cole had a lot of work to do and a lot of responsibility to be had, but over the years, he's done quite a few things. Surviving the Ray Sphere's explosion. His ice has reached absolute zero temperatures. He once split an aircraft in half, and he has survived being drained by this guy named David, defeated like Sasha, Alden, Kessler, the Beast, and Alex Mercer. Shut up, let me have this.
The fact you added that in text, man. Hey, I did a meta Death Battle reference, why don't you get one?
Over time, Cole had plenty of ways to prove that he was a hero that the city really needed. He could have gone down the route of evil, but his heart did not feel like it was necessary. So, despite the fact that he did eventually beat the Beast, the fight wasn't really over. In the end, Cole gave his life in order to prevent the apocalypse, to end the Beast's curse once and for all. I mean, yeah, sure, there was a bunch of other conduits that died that same day. But it was either that or the entire world gets destroyed by this apocalyptic force of destruction. Cole was gone, remembered as a hero, but by not just Empire City, but of Numerai. An inspiration to the conduits like Abigail and Delson. How much time do I got left?
You actually got 3.5 minutes left, so do you kind of want to just dive into Evil Cole and just kind of go over him? So I don't even know that much about Evil Cole.
So, Evil Cole. Let's talk about, but what if Cole went down the dark path in life? Well, he would have had a different power set, oddly enough. Instead of wielding the power of ice, what's the opposite of ice, you ask? Napalm. Imagine having the touch of fire at your fingertips, or just, well, disintegrating anyone in a single touch. That's Evil Cole in a nutshell.
Oh, God. Death Battle never covered that.
Oh, it gets nuttier. In the evil ending, Cole absorbs the Beast, meaning that Cole has access to all of the Beast's powers, including the Ray Sphere attacks, meaning that if this was Evil Cole, you'll be disintegrated at the molecular level.
Damn. So how did his story end? Like, because obviously with Cole, he sacrificed himself and saved the world and created a new generation of heroes. I probably already know the answer, but what was Evil Cole's ending?
He was the scariest villain known to man, feared by all, spared by Zeke at first, but then, well, Zeke died trying to fight Cole.
Well, not the smartest move on his part.
To be fair, Zeke was his best friend for 2 games. He tried to get some sense into the old Cole he knew, but it didn't work.
Damn.
Cole became a name to be feared, not respected. A name to be ran away from, then embraced. In Spider-Man terms, this is what happens if you let the symbiote fully take over.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of like some of the main plots in the Venom stories.
Oh hey, be glad we're talking about good Cole and not this evil asshole. At the end...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
At the end of the day, Cole's life may have started out in infamy, but he went down the path of righteousness and took on the responsibility of a true hero. And that's where I'll end it.
What the true infamous crime is that PlayStation and Sony will not put his games on PlayStation 5. So, seriously, you're telling me the original Crash Bandicoot can run on my PlayStation 5, but not, like, Infamous? Like, really?
What's interesting before we go to Metal Gear, because I assume Bill stopped the timer.
Yeah, I did.
I looked at the rating for Infamous today, out of curiosity. It's actually still a 4.6 out of 5.
Damn. It's just shocking because all I ever hear is how good this game is, and yet PlayStation just don't seem like they acknowledge it anymore.
Well, speaking of acknowledging, Konami is acknowledging the next franchise we're about to talk about with remakes.
That is true. So, mate, are you ready to represent Raiden once again? No doubt you're loaded with the memes and what they mean.
Just about.
Alright then. And then let me just get my timer back up. In 3, 2, 1, go!
Long ago, on the streets of Liberia, a young boy lost his family. But he was adopted by a man named George Sears, who was the future president of the United States. Sounds pretty good, right? Except George was actually Solidus Snake, a traitor who was manipulating world leaders to profit from the war economy. And he was the one who killed this boy's parents.
Let's be real here. He sounds like a better president than the current ones a lot of countries have right now.
Sadly, not wrong, but he gave this boy his name, Jack. Jack was thrown into Liberian civil war and made captain of his own commando unit in the Army of the Devil. Because of his high kill count and exceptional skill, he was given the nickname Jack the Ripper. All of this was when he was only 10 years old. Jesus.
I was going to say, when I was 10 years old, the only thing I managed to accomplish was trying to fit a crayon into my nose.
Poor bastard.
Yeah. But eventually, Jack wanted to make something better of his life. So he ended up joining Foxhound, teaming up with one of his idols, the legendary Solid Snake himself. And he even fell in love with a girl named Rose. Well, more than that, because, put a bun in her oven. He would also go streaking, take down some giant robots, kill Solidus once and for all under his new codename, Raiden.
Where's his fancy hat? Oh wait, that's Raiden.
Except, turns out this whole time he was being manipulated by the Patriots, an organization manipulating the US behind the scenes. Because it turns out Rose was secretly a Patriot spy and was manipulating his life the entire time they were together. She even told Raiden that she had a miscarriage and married another man. But it turns out that wasn't to trick Raiden, but it was actually to trick the Patriots. It's stupid. Basically, they go back together and raise their son.
I'm just going to pause the time to make this joke. Again, I am just so sad that as the years have gone on, like, just so much of this is becoming a reality in certain times. Like, can we, like, please, America, can we not have giant robots that move, please? That's all I'm saying.
I think Kojima was secretly onto something when he made this game.
I think so.
Probably.
Timer resuming now.
Yeah, but later in his life, Raiden was taken by the Patriots and given surgery to turn him into a superhuman cyborg ninja. With this new cyborg body, Raiden was fast enough to outrun bullet trains, even run on walls, and breakdance to throw robots around. Yes, here is the clip.
I still love that moment. Like, even before playing the games, when I saw that on Death Now, I was like, I need to play this game.
Who doesn't love that moment? Yeah. And Raiden has one hell of an arsenal outside of his own cyborg body. The dude, of course, has a high-frequency blade. He's got... Oh, actually, I should explain high-frequency blade. It vibrates frequencies to disrupt molecular bonds, greatly increasing its cutting power. Like being able to slice through giant robots made of carbon nanotubes. And because of the molecular density, these things are tougher than the world's toughest metals, like titanium. So the fact he can slice through that is kind of bonkers. And with his strength behind the sword, yeah, no doubt, because he can even lift and throw that same giant metal gear, which weighs over 2,000 tons. He's also got Dystopia, which is a scythe that pulls him towards opponents. You think you got away from him? Nope.
Instead of get over here, he's I'm coming there.
Yeah. But he found himself facing an organization which was kidnapping children, just like him. Desperado, that was it. I blanked on the name for a minute. And basically training them to be killers like him. He would also face a whole bunch of cyborgs who would not shut the f up and just get to the point. And it was through all this that he realized he was denying who he was deep down inside. And that is that he's a killer through and through. And through this is how he unlocked Ripper mode. Where by deactivating his pain inhibitors and, well, sacrificing a bit of his sanity in the process, the dude loses himself in his own Jack the Ripper personality, as well as gaining a massive boost in his strength and speed.
And everyone that's ever created an OC has copied this exact, power. I'm not even kidding.
Yep, and I'm just gonna... Okay, I'll put down the time for this clip.
Actually, I'm just going to pause timer while Mate's doing this, just to make sure. Seriously, have you guys ever noticed that, after the death battle between him and Wolverine, did you guys start seeing a lot of people, when they came out of OCs, they always had some sort of Ripper or Rage mode to their characters,
Oh god, it's all Raiden's fault.
Yeah, it's his fault. It was Raiden all along. Anyway, resuming timer.
Yeah. But that's not the only mode he has. He also has a mode that literally slows down his perception of time, slow enough that raindrops are literally standing still. This allows him to cut through his foes as precisely or as rapidly as he'd like. Seriously, he can turn you into Swiss cheese before you even realize what's happening. And I realize that was a bad analogy because Swiss cheese are full of holes, not sliced up, but...
we get the analogy. He puts loads of holes in people.
Yeah, he can turn you into thinly sliced salami.
I like salami. It's underrated.
Yeah.
Salami is good.
I mean, how else do you think he stood a chance against the big boss of this whole organization, Senator Armstrong, and his nanomachine son?
We had to get it in there.
Yeah. And it was actually this great strength is what Armstrong saw in Raiden in the first place. Someone who was born from nothing and had to crawl their way out of the gutter to attain greatness. However, Raiden still wasn't down for everything that Armstrong stood for. Just because he had to go through all of that doesn't mean other worn-torn kids should as well. So he ripped Armstrong's heart out, saved the world, and would continue living his life on his own terms, seeking out strong opponents and living by survival of the fittest, the rules of nature.
Is that how you want to end it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, kind of unrelated but kind of related. I actually can't believe just how amazing his discussion with Armstrong and Raiden is. It's not just a typical, I'm the bad guy, you're the hero, you must stop me. Armstrong actually brings up good arguments about where he stands. It's just that, he's a bit of a psychopath.
Hey, just because that senator didn't make up his sources.
Yeah, once again, proving that he would probably be a better political leader than the ones we have now. God, especially in the UK, man. But, right then, are you guys ready to spend the next 15 minutes debating this? It was 15 minutes, right? I know it's been a while, just double checking.
Yeah, that's fine.
Or was it 20
Yeah, that's fine.
minutes? To be fair, these two don't really have that much material, and you guys get an extra 2
Yeah, so
minutes
15 should be
afterwards.
fine for these two.
Yeah, and plus additional minutes. So technically 17 minutes, just 2 minutes afterwards, just having your moment. So then, Sean, are you ready to once again represent Cole?
Yeah.
Mate, are you ready to slice and dice another victory for Raiden?
Maybe.
Yeah, well, Metal Gear Solid, I should say, because, Armstrong doesn't slice and dice. He punches and dice.
You know what? You should have said, are you ready to make a Metal Gear Solid argument?
Ah, God damn it. Future Bill, cut that bit out. Are you ready to make a Metal Gear Solid argument for Raiden?
Ooh, nice pun. And yeah.
Knowing Future Bill, he's going to leave the first bit in. Anyway, though, in 3, 2, 1, something metal electric sound and go.
Alright, something I am just gonna get out of the way. I didn't bother listing it because, well, it's not really Raiden's go-to in combat, but he is a master of stealth. That's kind of useless here because Cole can scan for bioelectric auras.
Right, and Raiden's a giant cyborg technically. Yeah,
but you would still have those skills along with everything he had in Metal Gear Solid 2. So Raiden should have no problem dealing with the electricity because lesser Metal Gear characters were able to shoot bolts of lightning out of the air with just a revolver. And considering Raiden can slow his perception of time at any point he likes, then yeah, he can deal with the electricity and elemental powers.
Yeah, if he could keep up, I genuinely do think Cole is faster than Raiden though.
By how much?
To quote, I figured you were going to take death battle numbers, so I prepared that argument. The best they gave Raiden was 11% the speed of ride. Cole has 90, so at least 9 times faster. Plus, Cole has more maneuver options with his electric tether that can act as Spider-Man webs or just his thrusters, as well as his sick parkour skills.
Yeah, but Raiden can also just run up the buildings, and something I think is worth bringing up. Cole started all this way into his adult life, and he's mostly self-taught, whereas Raiden, Raiden is expertly trained since he was 10 years old.
Cole can definitely keep up with Raiden. Hell, his fight with Kessler, that's a future Cole who has more training and experience than Cole has had.
True.
There's also... So yeah, I think despite the fact that technically while Raiden has more skill and experience, Cole can definitely keep up.
Yeah, he also has way more to throw. I listed rocket launchers. He still has pretty much all this stuff from
all Raiden's long range options are completely useless here. Cole can just convert all that energy into electricity and fuel himself. It's yummy.
Oh yeah, true.
So your infinite ammo argument is just infinite fuel.
What's for dinner? My favorite.
You know what? Fair enough. So the high frequency blade, that is gonna slice through Cole's amp no diff. The amp is basically what, a tuning fork?
The amp's short. It would cut through that, but it wouldn't cut through Cole himself instantly. Because Cole has to survive at the same type of attacks that the high frequency blade does.
Really? Attacks the stable molecular bonds?
Yeah. The Ray Sphere, he survived that, which did the same thing. As well as the Beast, a more powerful version of the Ray Sphere.
True, but this is also something that's wielded by someone as strong as Raiden.
The Beast
I remind
the entire world and all of Lumio City.
Wait, Lumios?
Numere.
I was about to say, this isn't Pokemon.
Given what we just said about Cole earlier.
True, he is a Rotom.
Fair enough.
What would I make Raiden?
Probably an electric steel.
Yeah, I can get behind that. Resume.
It's like what happens with if you combine Aegislash with something like, say, I don't know, Cleavor. Oh wait, King Gambit. Definitely a King Gambit.
Anyway, yeah, resume fight.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Also, you brought up the whole infinite fuel thing. So Raiden can like absorb power from like other cyborgs. Isn't it also possible that he could just absorb power from Cole?
Cole's not a cyborg.
Well, yeah, but Raiden's still like absorbing their power source.
Cole can just take it right back.
Yeah, so this whole like absorbing power is kind of moot because they can do the same thing to each other.
I mean, Cole has survived and beaten people who have drained his powers still, so he's still capable without them, whereas Raiden, not so much.
Yeah, well, I mean, Raiden's also perfectly capable of fighting without even arms. Like, he's talking a whole hallway of like armed guards, like with only a sword in his mouth.
So I'm going to pause the timer because I have a question. And this is kind of to do with both the strength and you guys were just debating the absorbing thing. So, let's get this one out of the way because I imagine this one will be a quick answer. Sean, what is the best strength feat you were able to find for Cole?
The best strength feat, technically speaking, it would scale because of the gigawatt blades being the same as the thunder that Cole used to split a fighter jet in half.
Right, but I mean, like, has he shown any, like, physical strength maybe without combining his electricity? Like, has he, like, lifted up a car and hurled it or something like that? Has he punched with his own physical hand and punched a tank?
Our guess, tank, no.
Right. Right, so the best strength feat you could probably find was the splitting the jet in half.
Yeah.
Right, and I probably already know the answer to this, mate, and it has been a while since I've played Metal Gear. What is Raiden's best strength feat that you managed to find?
Well, he's also split jets in half. He's also sliced a Metal Gear Ray in half, which he also lifted and yeeted. He was also capable of like ripping off a building-sized sword from the Metal Gear Excelsis and fought a duel with it.
Right then. And my next question, and again, this might be a short one. When you guys were debating whether who could absorb what now, so again, it's been a while since I've seen anything Infamous related. Sean, how does Cole's whole electricity thing work? Does it just mean anything electrical?
It converts any matter it touches into energy.
Right, so it's not just specifically electricity. It could just be like a rubber duck or something like that.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying every long-range option Raiden has is completely useless.
Interesting. Mate, when you said like Raiden can absorb anything like from cyborgs, is it specifically like the robots and cyborg soldiers he fights within his game, or can it just be anything electrical? Like he could just walk up to an ATM machine and just drain the energy out of that if he needed to?
Not to my knowledge, but basically from everything I've seen, he just absorbs like the power supply from those cyborgs, so it's theoretically possible.
Right. Okay, well that's all I've got, so you guys got 10 minutes. Resume.
So, another thing, I don't think Raiden can survive one blast of Cole's cryokinesis since that has reached absolute zero temperatures. Like, there's no way Raiden can survive that.
That's assuming he even hits.
He definitely can hit, considering Cole's definitely faster.
Yeah, but Raiden can also slow his perception of time down.
It really wouldn't matter that much, considering how wide the speed gap is between the two. Because that whole 11 times thing was when he was slowing down the perception of time.
I mean, I guess, but like... Well, also keeping in mind, like, there are, like I've said, lesser Metal Gear characters who are capable of just shooting electricity out of the air. And Raiden, he's a superhuman cyborg ninja. He's absolutely faster than them. Plus, I heard from Proboscis in one of the older Metal Gear games there are, like, laser tagging feats.
Is there?
Yeah, but there is no doubt that Raiden should scale to that and like be comparable.
Nice argument, mate. Why don't you back it up with a source?
I mean, my source comes from Proboscis and he listed the thing.
Your source is Proboscis made of the.
Nah, Proboscis usually doesn't make up stuff like that.
I was making the meme joke. Let me have this,
I know.
damn it.
I was taking the power away by not acknowledging it. Haha.
No, there's no way Raiden would survive being hit with any of Cole's ice attacks.
Nah, I think he's like more than quick enough to just block him. And as I listed, Raiden's cyber body.
He does block it.
Raiden's cyber body.
What absolute zero is? It is absolute zero, meaning there's nothing that comes back. Anything that Raiden would try to do with his weapons after it gets frozen would just shatter immediately. So theoretically, Cole can freeze the high frequency blade and it would just shatter.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's still got the stronger, like, Murasama, like, aside from that, which that was the one that was able to cut through, like, Armstrong's nanomachines.
Yeah, but still, I think Cole's ice powers would pretty much negate the Murasama again, because that would just be frozen. And oh, look, it's gone, because...
Nah, I don't think Raiden would fall for the same thing twice. He would know, like, okay, I gotta try something else. And I would like to point out, Raiden's cyber body can pinpoint weak points. What's stopping him from just pinpointing any weaknesses Cole's body has? Slowing down perception of time, slice, slice, slice.
Cole's body doesn't have weak points, sort of. Also, again, he survived being hit at the molecular level multiple times.
Yeah, but that was like a bomb. This is like a sword.
It's bigger than the bomb. It threatened the entire and threatened the city and the world. And one of the things I do want to talk about is Jack the Ripper mode versus Karmatic Overload, because that can give both of them like boost some power, speed, and whatnot. The difference is it gives Cole unlimited energy to pull from. Any rebuttal to that, or?
I mean, I would bring up the absorption thing, but again, that's kind of moot.
Even in like, if this long battle of endurance and like longevity, attrition, Cole would be able to beat it out because of how the world is. How many things are made of electricity that Cole can just be like, yoink.
Yeah. No, I will admit, because of like Raiden's fuel supply, like, if it's like a long-term thing, then sure. But that's assuming he can survive, like, you know, Cole just like slicing him to pieces.
Let's see here.
Because remember, at the end of the day, Cole is still, well, at least organic. And I've said that the high-frequency blades are capable of cutting through even the toughest metal. Yeah, would do way more to a human.
Not a human that literally has survived at the molecular level from multiple occasions.
So I'm going to pause the timer again, because I do want to actually kind of go back to that little bit there before we move on to lightly Ripper mode as well as Cole's like other abilities. So I asked Sean first, so this time I'll ask Mate first. So Mate, you said like during like Raiden's analysis that Raiden has been able to cut through at least what metal is known across the world at the moment, the toughest metals with. This is even before he got the stronger sword, right? This was like with his basic sword, he's been able to cut through titanium, right?
Yeah, and a weaker cyborg body.
Right, and then obviously as the series went on, he got a new body. He also got the Murasama, so he could even cut it at the high frequency and cut through that. So this will go into my next question for Sean. You mentioned why exactly would the ice nullify Raiden's high frequency ability to, you know, reduce like the molecular structure of things? Because freezing metal doesn't stop its property. Like, you could freeze titanium to like
with how
0,
Cole's powers
and
are,
it would still be as strong as titanium.
So Cole's powers are attack at the molecular level too, as shown in his fights against the beasts and other conduits.
Okay, interesting. Right then, so you guys got 4.5 minutes. I should just
Take a shot every time we say molecular. Don't do it.
Right? I know, right? So 4 minutes. Well, you guys got 2 minutes and 30 seconds to keep debating amongst each other. Then you guys will have 1 minute each to have your final case. Let's go.
So, You can argue, yeah, Raiden's physically stronger, but just pure power-wise, thanks to Cole's powers, he has the raw power to put Raiden down.
If he's given that chance.
I mean,
Which, Raiden's faced all kinds of cyborgs, Armstrong, like... Dude's seen a lot.
They both have fought things that are insanely more powerful than they are. Only difference you can argue is that Raiden needed something super specific to beat his big boss, whereas Cole didn't. Because without the Murasama, Raiden was...
I mean, maybe, but then couldn't you argue without some of Cole's powers, he would have been fine?
Not against the Beast, no, because Cole's powers came from within, and besides...
Wait, so are you saying, like, Cole with no powers could beat the Beast?
He would have died... Cole could have probably beat the Beast because of the plot in Infamous 2. They had a way to stop the Beast, just in case. They made their own version of the Ray Sphere to stop the Beast in case no one else could do it, but Cole, well, being the protagonist, did it.
Interesting.
And another reason I think Cole has like the power advantage is just because it covers the entire city with especially Ionic Storm. And considering that Empire City is about the same size as the city of Seattle, yeah.
Yeah, I would be willing to say, like, yeah, raw power, Cole has the advantage, but I think Raiden just has, like, too many of the other advantages is the thing. Like, raw power is great and all, but that doesn't guarantee a fight. Like, Armstrong was way more powerful than Raiden, but Raiden was still able to win.
Raiden's not as durable as Cole can be, and has shown to be.
Alright then, well, we're down to our last 2 minutes now, so Sean, I will let you have the debate floor, so you can have one last final case for Cole, and mate, you will follow suit.
Right?
So I think I have a winner suggested based on my notes.
Okay.
Suggested.
Like who he
suggested
like
it to
who
you?
he think wins. It's a suggestion. Will the audience agree with that suggestion?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yes. Oh, Bernie, they're on to us. They know you're the real host.
I knew it.
That was never a Bernie or a Billy. That was always a Bernie. You guys have been duped by a woman this whole time. Anyway. So, Sean, are you ready for your last minute?
Yeah.
And go.
Cole has the superior speed and maneuverability options to get away from Raiden's close range options. He also can absorb every single long range attack that Raiden does possess, which in turn will fuel Cole's power source. And Cole can win this long war of attrition and has survived a lot more at a deeper molecular level, meaning that his high frequency blades and the Murasama aren't guaranteed win cons. Overall, Cole has the versatility, speed, and raw durability just to put Raiden down. His power is just more than enough to bring down this solid character from Metal Gear.
That was good. You have
How was
20...
that?
That was good. But do you have 20 more seconds? Do you want one more one-liner?
In the end, Raiden's defeat will go down in infamy in Proboscis' heart.
You know, I guess that works. Alright then, mate, so now you have 1 minute to make a final case for Raiden. Are you ready?
Sure.
And away you go.
Cole may have raw power, but Raiden is a lot more experienced, is quicker, stronger. He's more than capable of dealing with Cole's like elemental attacks, scaling from lesser Metal Gear characters who can shoot electricity out of the air, react to lasers. More than capable of getting in close, especially with Dystopia. Slow down his perception of time and rip Cole apart piece by piece.
Oh,
I'm just leaving it at that.
oh okay.
Damn, Jack.
Fair enough. I thought you were going to leave it on like... actually, I don't really know what you're going to leave it on, to be fair.
Well, I mean, I said he was going to rip him apart.
Yeah,
Jack the Ripper.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair enough. Funny enough, you both literally covered everything you wanted to in 40 seconds. That's a record. Okay, so with all these notes that I've collected on this, not as many as I usually have with my notes. Now, let's already get things out of the way that we all kind of agree on. Raw strength definitely goes to Raiden. Like, I'm sorry, but from everything I asked of Sean and what everything he's going to provide, there's no consistent physical strength on his side. There's never moments he holds back a collapsing building, lifting things up. Raiden, on the other hand, has constant feats of him lifting giant swords, giant mechs, and holding back something with one arm. It's like, yeah, Raiden gets the obvious strength advantage. In terms of things they both have evenly covered, yeah, like projectiles, neither really have an advantage in my opinion. As Sean and Mate have both confirmed, Cole could just absorb most of the material that Raiden sends away. Hell, the pistol with infinite ammo doesn't really come in handy this time. On the other hand, though, you could maybe make an argument that Cole's electricity attacks might end up being fuel for Raiden. So it's a case of both are basically feeding each other the energy to keep on fighting. So endurance, yeah, I'll probably give it to both as well. Maneuverability also goes to both. Both can't really outmaneuver one another. And I think it also comes down to the scale of their powers as well as their durability. Raiden's durability, I can't say is as impressive as Cole's, because there's been times he has been overwhelmed by opponents that aren't even as strong as he is. Cole, on the other hand, doesn't sound like he's had many difficult fights with most of his opponents. I mean, hell, he managed to defeat something that could alter his DNA to the molecular level. I'm probably butchering how you say that. So, in terms of that, Cole might have the advantage there, but then finally coming down to who could land the lethal blow, it's going to come down to most likely the Merisama and Cole's just unmatchable electricity powers. Now, while we have already confirmed that Raiden could potentially absorb the electricity and just fuel him, it's also been confirmed that his body can't withstand too much destructive power sent his way. So yes, he can probably absorb some of the electricity, but given the fact Cole literally has the power to erase the whole city and has even survived DNA altering molecular structure attacks, the Merisama is not going to be that useful. Of course, there's the raw power behind Raiden as well, but given the fact Cole could just heal himself with electricity and he is surrounded by electricity as well, even if we were to put these guys in a room where that neither can really absorb electricity, both can easily just carry on the fight then, and it's just going to come down to the overwhelming abilities they have, which I would argue Cole just has that beat. So for that, I believe Sean has once again given Cole another W.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Dang, it's not as bad as you thought it was.
Yeah, if I was really going into this thinking Raiden was going to stomp, if I had to be honest, because I'm yeah, the Merisama, and Cole was a human, but then bring up the fact that both can basically make a lot of their abilities mute to an extent, but the only difference is Cole can actually fire, I mean, hell, a city-wide attack. Raiden's impressive, and he could maybe absorb some of the basic electricity attacks. He's not surviving a city-wide explosion of electricity. Jesus Christ, I'm pretty sure you would put that into a car battery, that car's exploding. So,
yeah, but I will also admit I could bring up the calc of him slicing the Metal Gear Ray in half, though it would be at most in the kilotons, and I'm pretty sure Cole's power goes to the gigatons.
Yeah, that's what it came down to. Raiden, experienced soldier, he definitely has strength on his side. I was trying really hard, Sean, is there, because if Cole had had a more impressive strength, I'd have been yeah, this fight is done. But because Cole's clearly not showing strength that much, whereas Raiden has. Now you could make the argument that maybe Raiden couldn't absorb the electricity, but it's never specifically said that he can only drain energy out of cyborg enemies. I mean, I could be wrong about that.
As far as I'm aware, I just think, like, you know, logically, like, what's saying he can't.
Yeah.
Even if Raiden had resistance to electricity, Cole's fight with David proves that he can overpower stuff like that.
Yeah, that's also true. So, I don't want to say this was close because I feel like Cole might. I think it only just comes down to like the overwhelming power. Like, if we just came about their speed and strength, I would say both are kind of even. Maybe Raiden has the ability to outpace Cole, but I think that's the only win con I can really think of. Whereas if he manages to catch Cole by surprise and freeze time, or well, not freeze time, but you know, move so fast that time looks like it's not moving. But of course, because of Cole's like ability to heal and stuff like that, it might just make that attack a moot point, unless like Cole's not prepared for him. Cole's always ready for a fight, so it's not that reliable, but it's definitely a win con in my opinion. But,
and I know what everyone's thinking, but what if Raiden fought Evil Cole? Well, it would be even worse.
Yeah,
I knew you were going to say that.
Okay, let's be real here. Okay, Evil Cole versus Raiden, with both good Raiden and Ripper Raiden. Yeah, this fight is over because you just need to touch him and you're dead. Like, sorry, Raiden, you're not winning that fight. But no, I thought this fight was definitely a lot more interesting than I expected. Really went into this thinking, yeah, Raiden's going to stomp because Metal Gear is more absurd than you would think.
I blame Kojima.
Yeah, but I was like, okay, like, in my notes, I was generally surprised, like, wow, these guys could actually cancel out a lot of their, like, molecular structure attacks, really. But yeah, so that was Raiden versus Cole, or Cole versus Raiden, however we're going to have the thumbnail and title for this. But yeah, so we have one more Lads debate this year, people, and it's going to be part of... You guys alright if I announce what we're going to do with the finale of Lads debate?
Sure, go for it.
Yeah, so not the next death battle, but obviously, as tradition, every year we discuss the last death battle for a live stream. That will also be the live stream where we settle the final Lads debate, which was technically also another voted fight, if you can believe that, on our Discord, link in the description down below. And it's technically got a returning combatant. We are doing Bakugo from My Hero Academia versus Rexplode from Invincible.
Oh boy, do we have a funny story.
Do you want to share it, Sean?
So, when we were planning on making this poll, Bill was going to post it on a Monday. Oh, actually, no, he was going to post it on a Tuesday. That's the one when Death Battle Cast does a thing. And like 2 or 3 hours before he posted the poll, Death Battle Cast did Bakugo versus Rexplode.
Yeah, the Lance Curse literally strikes off screen as well. Like,
and that was also where they had Bakugo's voice actor on.
Gee, I wonder what was winning the poll, lads.
Yeah, so, I mean, to be fair, this is an episode we actually kind of grown more interested in as time's gone on as well. So it's like, and heck, with, you know, aside me having read the original, like, you know, comic books after the show's popularity, I have grown more interest in Rexplode. He's definitely a really well-written character, and heck, if you just go by the TV show as well, he goes through a lot of great character development. And similar with Bakugo, actually. You know, he went from kind of a piece of crap, and now he's actually a pretty liked character these days. It's kind of crazy how these two actually have more themes going for them than we realise. So, yeah, probably be a big shocker. I'm representing Rexplode, because I'm probably the bigger Invincible fan here. And representing Bakugo is... Hey, you know what, Sean? Maybe you have a second win at potentially giving Bakugo a win. You are representing Bakugo again.
Yay, I'm representing the main storyline this time, and I will avenge Bakugo being robbed last time.
I mean, he won the poll, you know.
That's why I make the joke of him being robbed.
Well, in my defense, though, for that one, I technically won the poll during the stream. Just as time went on, the poll started getting more into Bakugo's case. But technically, since it was in a video, Yang technically also won the poll as well. But
If it didn't happen on stream, it doesn't count.
Exactly.
I think it was because we didn't do like the poll in the chat like we did for Nora Reinhardt. We just posted it on your channel. That's why the results changed.
Be quiet, little man. Anyway, I don't know why I said that so creepily. But yeah, people, so what did you think about this lads debate? Were we once again controversial? Are we going to find out that Raiden actually wins by over 69%? Or
Nice.
thank you. Or is this actually going to stop in the other favour? Am I just giving Raiden more credit than he deserves? Well, let me know when we put the poll up after this episode. And if you want to see more lads debates like this, and hey, if you want to maybe participate in potentially getting your own lads debate in a server, then why not join the lads Discord server? We even do like community lads debates where we all hang out, just have a laugh, and we just do just random lads debates that may or may not become official episodes. It's also just a fun place to hang out. With all that said and done, thank you all so much for watching, and be sure to stick around for more future content like this. Farewell, everybody.
Why?
See ya.
And just remember, even if I don't win the next lads debate, at least everyone will know that I can take my criticism because I am